It's hard to believe, but yes, Disney leadership is saying it, and they're telling it to investors. They're claiming that Epic Universe, the big new theme park from Universal Studios, which looks to take the market lead over the next few years from Disney World, well, they're claiming at the House of Mouse that it will do the opposite, that Epic Universe will create an attendance boost to Disney. Folks will explain why this is more than a little loony right now. It is a joyous day, folks, and it is that way because you have come our way. Thank you for joining us here on the Pro Channel, where our job is to explain entertainment and keep you, yes, ahead of the culture curve. Folks, we're going to give you an absolute PhD-level discourse on what's happening at Disney, and of course, you are all here on scholarship. Everything's free because you're the highest IQ audience on the internet. Folks, let's dive in, click the like button, and here we go. All right, take a look at this. It's out of Variety, and Josh D'Amaro, the man of the hour, the man with the power, who likely will be the next CEO of Disney. Well, he has said some things at an investor's call that we just have to call out a little bit. This is by Todd Spangler from Variety. Disney Parks chief Josh D'Amaro predicts Universal's Epic Universe will actually drive more Disney World visitors. Now, I just want you to understand what Josh D'Amaro is saying. Their biggest competitor is opening the biggest theme park in North America, right beside them, this month. And Josh D'Amaro is saying that must mean better days are ahead for Disney. This would be similar to Coca-Cola saying, you know what? That Pepsi company over there, they're opening a ton more bottling, warehouses, factories, etc. And they're buying up double the number of trucks, and they're gonna pump Pepsi out like crazy. And frankly, we think it's good for us. This is nutso. At least that's what I think so. We'll go to the rest of the panel in a minute and see if I have a counter here that I just don't know about. Josh D'Amaro, chairman of Disney Experiences, said he's not concerned about Epic Universe. In fact, he thinks the opening of the rival destination will help boost Disney World attendance. That's why they're doing all the discounts. That's why they're offering kids eat free like a Howard Johnson in 2026, because it's just so good for them. Tomorrow, speaking at the Moffett-Nathanson Media, Internet and Communications Conference on Wednesday, where's Dana? When asked about Epic Universe, said, we're always on the offensive. We're constantly investing for the long term, fortifying each one of our theme parks. That's why Animal Kingdom has 5 attractions, ladies and gentlemen, because they're fortifying it, clearly. He continued, if something is built new in Central Florida like Epic Universe, that draws new visitors to the region. That tourist is going to have to visit the Magic Kingdom. They must. They just can't not, because Magic Kingdom is so much better than Epic Universe, right? Universal's Epic Universe officially opens on May 22nd as part of the 750-acre development. It will be the biggest of Universal Orlando's 3 theme parks. It's the biggest theme park there, period, flat out. Features the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon, Celestial Park, Dark Universe, and more on the way, by the way. In his talk, D'Amaro also hyped Disney's plans to open the new theme park in Abu Dhabi, although they won't be opening it. So, they're really good at this game. They're really good. Maybe Josh D'Amaro is the next Bob Iger because he is Bob Iger. Announced last week, he noted that Disneyland in Anaheim will turn 70 years old. The Abu Dhabi park will be the company's 7th theme park resort. So he said opening a new park is a once-in-a-decade decision, although they won't own it. It's not their park. But he said they're going to open it.
I mean, that's basically closing the door for everything until 2035, which is, I think, kind of a shame there, because not that they should open a new park, but basically telling investors they will not actually be building a theme park. I don't think that's a good idea.
No 5th gate. That's what we're hearing, right, Jonas?
Exactly.
Right, which is a really, really dumb thing to say.
Until they get really desperate. He's better than Dana, though, right? He's better than Dana, because Dana, we don't even know when she says things. We can't believe the things that she puts out. Vash, I'm confused about this. Help me be confused no more.
Yeah.
How in the world can Epic Universe open? How in the world can it be part of bundled vacation packages to Universal Studios? How can that possibly increase attendance at Disney World if this is it's at least one day that people won't go to Disney World because there'll be an Epic instead? How can that be?
Well, I will go ahead and show you, at least from his perspective, what they are thinking, what the internal thought process actually is, and then we'll go ahead and we'll break it down in a more in one that is more cogent with real life here. I want to go ahead and get his exact words of what he actually said during this conference. So I have the transcript right up here. He says they're not going to miss Star Wars at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, okay. All right. I've got a rule here. I can't laugh at these. Go ahead, Vash.
Okay. So he's saying that their growth strategy, their investment strategy over the last 10 years has worked out very, very well for them. He says what that all means is that if something is built new, like in Central Florida, like Epic Universe, and if it brings in additional tourists, I can almost guarantee you that new tourists coming to the market are going to visit the Magic Kingdom. He is saying that affirmatively. They've got to go on Tron. They've got to. They can't miss out on Star Wars Hollywood Studios. They're absolutely getting on Guardians of the Galaxy and Epcot, and I'm getting on Flight of Passage attractions. And so far, that 4-park ecosystem holds together very, very well. What he's saying is that, and this is what Bob Iger said. And by the way, maybe Josh D'Amaro is the new Bob Iger. This is what Bob Iger said, I think, like a couple of years ago. Oh, we've known about Epic Universe for years. We've been setting up our theme parks for as part of our investment strategy. We understand this is coming, but we have such compelling offers that we've added over the years. They have to visit our theme parks. They have to come down for Epic Universe and visit what else is available in the Central Florida area. That's what he's saying right there. He even says, "Oh, we are never in a defensive position. We are never in defensive position," is what he says. We are only in the offensive position. And he says this: "Our strategy is working based on the Q3 and Q4 expectations that Hugh Johnston actually rolled out for the Q2 earnings report recently held. One of the things that gets discussed quite a bit in groups like this is how you think about cannibalization. Well, if something new is going to be built, then something must be cannibalized. Based on our results, based on the forward bookings, that cannibalization is not," he says, "this cannibalization is not coming from us." And so again, we have a very solid strategy in place, always on the offensive. This is lunacy. This is, it doesn't comport at all with reality.
So. I'm glad you think so, because I'm looking at this saying, how can anybody believe this? How can anybody believe this?
It's hubris. It's hubris, bro. This is where some people can believe this. They believe they are the big name on the block. They believe that their position can never be upended by any theme park, much less it being the first theme park in this area in the first for 25 years in the social media era right here. They're saying we're going to get.
Hang on a second. Vash, Jonas, Matt, look what's on the screen.
Right.
They're coming out and they're saying, "Oh no, people are just going to have to come to our Magic Kingdom and our Hollywood Studios because they love Star Wars." Look what is on the screen. But if you have any knowledge of what has just been built next to them, there is no way that you look at this and say, "Oh yeah, we got to go get that blue milk at Galaxy's Edge that tastes like melted Fruity Pebbles." Like, how can you think that when this is sitting miles from your resort?
I mean, that's honestly an insult to Fruity Pebbles. I'd rather have melted Fruity Pebbles than the blue milk at this point. I've no interest in drinking it ever again. Here's the thing: Star Wars Land, as we've often joked on this channel, just looks like war-torn Tunisia. It's really not anything when you look at this right here. I'm not saying that. Okay, this could be considered a little gaudy at times, but at the same time, this is exactly what little kids want. Disney has lost its place as a kids brand, so the only thing they've got then are the adult brands here, and they're not firing on all cylinders there. Marvel, they don't even have the rights to Marvel. Universal has that. When they say the 4-park ecosystem works really well for us, what I'm hearing as a person who might be interested in investing in Disney is, we know that if we add another park, it will only cannibalize our existing business. Right here. And by the way, Epic Universe is incapable of cannibalizing Disney because they are different entities. Cannibalization means you take from yourself.
Right. So let me show something real quick, okay? So this is, for people who don't know, this is Epic Universe, okay? This is what it looks like. This is in the middle of the park. This is their hub in the middle. But again, folks, this is Nintendo World, okay? Matt, I know you're not a theme park guy, but you love video games, right? You love Nintendo games, right?
Well, I've been to Universal Studios in California and their Super Nintendo World there. I took my family there a couple of times.
So
So
quadruple.
I've walked those stairs and gates and ate at the Toadstool Cafe.
Right. So quadruple the size of it. Okay. Quadruple the size of it because they went all out for Epic Universe. Now Disney and their new future CEO Josh D'Amaro is claiming, nope, people have to go to Disney. They got to see Star Wars. You have been there at the Hollywood version, quadruple it in size, add Donkey Kong. Now compare that to this is what Josh D'Amaro says people have to go to. What you saw with Super Nintendo, this is Star Wars land. This is Star Wars land. This is what people have to go to.
Are you sure that's not Animal Kingdom? I don't know.
Or Tunisia. I get it.
It's got some domes in it. That's about it.
So there you go.
Are they playing John Williams music in there?
No, there's no Star Wars. No. But there's no actual Star Wars in Star Wars land. Come on, Jonas, you know that.
But that's the thing. People have gone to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's been open for 5 years. People have gone to Disney's Animal Kingdom to see Pandora. They've gone to see Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe it's the newest thing. But Tron didn't move the needle. When Tron opened at Magic Kingdom, it did not move the needle for that park. That's why they had aggressive discounts even when that theme park attraction actually opened. This whole thing of like, we'll get more attendance, even if that's true, even if people swing over to Magic Kingdom or Epcot or Disney's Hollywood Studios from Epic Universe because they're in town to see that doesn't at all mean you'll get the same attendance that you had before. It doesn't at all mean that even if you do that, you'll get the same revenues as before. People have eaten at Be Our Guest restaurant. They've eaten the blue milk, I guess, at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They've gotten the lightsabers. They will be spending their money at Epic Universe, especially if they only have 1 day pro. That's the thing. They'll have 3, 4, 5 day passes, but they'll only have 1 day at Epic Universe. They will indulge to the degree that they possibly can at Epic Universe to a much larger degree than they will at Disney. That's where the dollars will be spent. This gravitational shift will be multi-layered, not just in attendance, but in revenue, in profit. And there's no chance that doesn't happen. Epic Universe is already expecting 10 million visitors in the first year. Where does that come from, if not from Disney?
I also have to point out one more thing here is there's a whole lot of new merch. There's new merch at every single one of those lands.
Absolutely.
Disney pretty much has the same old stuff. They got some new popcorn buckets. Okay, great. And I'm not a popcorn bucket kind of guy, but there's an entire new selection just in the Donkey Kong area that I'm really hoping to get my hands on some of that DK Barrel merch, or my kids wanting to go after the Mario stuff, also the DK stuff, or the new interactive wands over there at Harry Potter Land. I could just keep going and going. I haven't got it yet. I'm planning on getting one of those Creature from the Black Lagoon severed arm back scratchers. I really got my eye on one of those. There's nothing at Star Wars Land that I want to get. The bootleg merch that people sell online is more in tune with Star Wars than anything that they've got selling in that land right there. I'll go buy a Theory Saber, get my money's worth.
Matt, make it make sense, please. I know they got to say what they got to say, but the next CEO of Disney says, big new theme park opening, probably a 3-day theme park opening right beside us. That's a good thing for us. Make it make sense, Matt.
So I am going to take kind of a contrary stance, shocker, right, to what you guys have been talking about, because I don't think that this guy is completely out of line with what he's saying here. If you look at the Cola Wars of the 90s as like an example of this, where Coca-Cola was the king of the hill, and then Pepsi kind of came out and started innovating and really pushing their brand, and competition forces brands and companies that were lazy or stagnant to kind of like step up their game or go broke
or build dirt tracks.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Go ahead, Matt.
So when it comes to like what he said, yes, having a new hot attraction is going to increase tourism to the area, and there's going to be some bleed off. Maybe not as much as they're claiming, or not as much as they might be expecting, but there is going to be a net benefit to all the surrounding businesses when you have like 10 million people coming in to visit a theme park in its first year. So like I can see like where he's coming from by saying like, we're not scared about this opening. We know that it's going to, make a big splash upon entry, but then once things settle down, what Disney's going to be in position to do is to do basically what's called a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and troubles or something like that.
I think it's
And-
threats.
Threats. Thank you. So what they're going to do is they're going to look at what Universal is offering at this theme park. They're going to look at what is going well, at what's going wrong, and then they're going to be able to very effectively come up with a counter strategy to try to not only compete with Universal, but also siphon off some of that increased tourism that's going to be happening in Florida. So from the guy's perspective who you quoted in that article, yes, I don't think he's completely out of pocket by putting forward a brave face, especially for investors and stuff like that. But I do think Disney, they've been in the parks business long enough, and like Universal has had their their presence in Florida for quite some time and other places, and there are other theme parks that Disney has competed with. So like I don't think that they're scared about this. I don't even think that they're concerned. I think that they realize that it's going to be a short-term loss for them. But in the long term, I think they have a strategy where they feel comfortable that they're not going to be hurt by this in any significant way.
Well, folks, we bring every angle to the table, and we do so with glee. Let us know in the comments. It's your turn now. Go from being a passive to an active viewer and tell us, do you think that Epic Universe is going to be more than a mover, but a taker from the House of Mouse? We'd love to know your take, and drop it down below. Let us know. Folks, it's time to bid you adieu, but we hope that you will help us anew, and that is, we're only asking you click that like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. And oh, by the way, have you gone the way of thatparkplace.com? www.thatparkplace.com. It's the website that if you're not yet bookmarked to, well, you should be. A bastion of truth and knowledge when it comes to entertainment and everything that's going on. Go check it out today, folks. We would love to have you over there as well. All right, we are getting ready to head out, but do not fret, for we will put out 4 more videos tomorrow, so long as the good Lord allows. And we believe that probably, just might, happen. All right, until the next time we get to share time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw, because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. I mean, she's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me... Okay, call her on my... I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach. I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.